So I'm going to jump right into it. And today we're going to talk about 5 ways to eliminate writer's block. How many of you have ever had writer's block before? If you have, just type in the chat, yes, so frustrating, whatever your experience with writer's block has been. Maybe you're having a time of writer's block right now even. And it's a frustrating thing if you're at that place where you want to be creative, you want to write songs, you want to build something, you want to do something, but you feel blocked, you feel stuck. And, being stuck is not a fun place to be. And I really don't believe that's a place as a kingdom creative you ever need to be and that God wants you to be. And so there's some tips and tools I'm going to share with you today to get you unstuck so that you can be creatively fruitful, so that you can get back into flowing, creating, getting whatever's holding it up, whatever the blockage is there, out, so that the creativity can flow, so that divine creativity can flow out of you. You're made in God's image and you are creative. So the very first point out of the 5 ways to eliminate writer's block that I want to share with you today is to, first of all, get to the root. Get to the root. It's so important to get down to the main cause of it. It might sound simple, but it's actually quite profound. And the thing is, if you can get to the root of the problem, if you get that out, get that root blockage out, then everything's going to flow. If you keep dealing with, the outside kind of top level manifestations of it, and, oh, it must be this, must be that, I don't have the right computer, I don't have a creative space, all these outward things, you're not getting to the root of the problem. And so I would encourage you to think and pray about what is the root of this. And, as kingdom creatives, you can just ask the Lord, God, why am I creatively stuck? What is going on here? What's the root of the problem? And he might bring a word to mind. He might bring an article. Maybe this broadcast is an answer to your prayers in some ways. Because some of the main roots of what is actually going on is to do with probably perfectionism and self-criticism. Those 2 things are things that can often be the root of writer's block. And I'm just going to write them down here. And self-criticism. Okay, so type it up here so you can see it on the page. Perfectionism and self-criticism. Those 2 things can be massive blocks in your mind and in your heart that prevent you from being creatively free. If you're creating and you're always worried about, is this good enough? Is this right? Is this perfect? You're going to edit yourself before you even get that creativity started. And so you really need to become free and break free of perfectionism and self-criticism. Maybe you grew up with a critical person in your life that kind of has built that thought process and that voice into your head. And you need to turn from being a critic of yourself to being a coach to yourself. So if I was a critic of myself, if I was writing or doing something, I'd be like, oh, that's terrible. Oh, that sucks. I'm no good. Oh, don't even bother. Don't even bother. If I was a coach to myself, I would say things like, okay, that's a good start. Let's keep growing. Okay, maybe that's not the best here, but let's keep developing there. Or I'd be encouraging to myself, saying, you know what? You got something on paper. You wrote a verse today. That's amazing. Good job. I'd be encouraging to myself. And so getting to the root means dealing with some of that perfectionism and self-criticism tendencies that many artists and many creatives have, and becoming free of those things. And you become free by those things by just doing the opposite, by creating imperfect things and being okay with it, by celebrating your progress, by not expecting yourself to be perfect or do everything perfectly right away. And if you can start to do some of those things, you'll start to make great progress and start to just enjoy being creative for the sake of it, like back to that childlike creativity, and not worrying what the critics will say and what your own critic will say, not having it be perfect. Is there any perfect song out there? I don't know, some might get close, but you know what? What might be a perfect song is just you sharing your heart and singing a song you love to sing. And a song born of love maybe is a perfect song in some way. So get to the root of it, and don't be so hard on yourself. I remember one author, I believe it was Tim Ferriss. He's popular for these books like The 4 Hour Work Week, 4 Hour Chef, all these things like that. And he writes these massive books. They're like 400 pages long. But he said his goal every day and how he does this is to write 2 bad pages every day. And I love that because when you set yourself up saying, I'm going to write 2 bad pages a day, it releases all the pressure of creating something great, and it just forces you to get something done. So if you want to apply that to music or something in your business, I'm going to make 2 okay phone calls a day. I'm going to write 2 okay verses or choruses a day. And you probably will end up writing some amazing things. But in your mind, if you just set the bar low, saying, you know what, I'm just going to write some okay stuff today, then it will prevent you from thinking you need to write everything amazing. The name of the game is, in a lot of ways, quantity beats quality. Quantity is how you get quality. You want the quality, but often you have to write 100 songs to get 5 amazing ones. Even if you're a professional writer, the number of songs that need to be written in order to get cuts, and the songs that are written versus songs that actually get recorded by people are very low. And if you listen to people like Ed Sheeran or different artists who are writing for albums, Christian artists who are writing for albums, they're often they can write up to 70 to 100 songs just to get those 10 songs that are going to be released in the end. And so the name of the game is being free from judging yourself, perfectionism, and just writing, and breaking the root off of your perfectionistic tendencies, or your self-criticism will help you honestly in every area of your life, but it will get you free from the root of some writer's block or this stuckness that you might feel. So number 2, after first of all gets the root, number 2 is live life. That might sound simple, but it's actually profound. I think it was Chris Martin from Coldplay who once said, he was on tour once and was writing a lot, but he found that he wasn't really writing a lot of great stuff because he was on tour. On tour, you're on a bus, you're playing stadiums or playing wherever you're playing, you're eating food, you're traveling every day to a different city. And some things are inspiring about it, but a lot of it's pretty mundane. And you're not kind of living a normal life. And so if you can live life, have different experiences, get to know different people, read different books, watch different movies, you'll experience different things, and it will end up influencing your writing and could inspire you and get you out of a bit of that writer's block. Sometimes, you don't want to get yourself into a bad experience, but there's hard experiences that often birth amazing songs. You look at all these people like Taylor Swift and Adele, they're famous for writing about their breakups, and they make millions of dollars off breakups. And so if you've had some hard things happen to you, write about it, just be honest about it, journal about it, and then put music to your journal. Whatever good, bad, or ugly things have happened to you, you can use that, and God can use it for good by getting a song out of it. I remember Darlene Zschech talking about Shout to the Lord and how that was written out of a very hard season in her life. And she was just kind of at the end of herself. And that song just came out during that time. There's so many stories of people who go through tough times and write about those and end up being songs that minister to a lot of other people. Now, it doesn't always have to be negative. You can write about the awesome revelations you're having from the Lord, things he's showing you about himself or about life, things you're learning from the Bible, just fun experiences that you have. Even just having a good experience can make you feel good and make you want to write and create. And so live life. Don't be afraid of enjoying the things that God has given us to enjoy. I don't recommend doing what some other people do. And, in the mainstream world, it's very popular to use various substances or drugs to get creative and As kingdom people, we don't do that. But you can use God-given creative avenues to inspire yourself and to really break out of that rut. Number three, a way to really get out of writer's block is to write what you know. Comedians are famous for saying this. Write what, if you're making jokes, if you're writing jokes, just write what you know about. Same with if you're writing books or writing songs, anything like that. Write what you know. If you know people really well, if you love psychology, if you know nature, if you know certain chords, if you hopefully know the Lord well, write what you know and what you've experienced and what's in your history with the Lord. And that will really help you just to write. If you know a lot about it, you can write about it, you can talk about it. And so maybe it's just some really interesting topic or thing in life that not many other people know about. Maybe you love chess, write a song about chess. Maybe you love a certain TV show, write a song about that. Just do some things just to get out of that creative rut and write what you know. Fourth kind of goes along with this, but a bit different. Write what you love. If you heard Mitch Wong share with us in any of our challenges or in our academy, he shared about writing from a place of love. And that's really fundamental to what we teach about in terms of everything here at Christian Music Mentor and in our academy is, it all comes down to love in the end. You're going to be a great artist and a great musician, great person, great follower of Christ if you love God and love people. And everything from your social media to your marketing to your writing should flow out of that place. And so with writing, I was thinking about, if you love someone, it shouldn't be too hard to write them a love letter or to create something for them. If you really love something or love someone, same thing with writing. If you really love the Lord, hopefully it's not too hard to write him a love song. Or if you love somebody else, write them a song. Even if they're a friend, write them a friendship song or something to encourage them if they're going through a hard time. If you love nature, write a song about that. If you love sports team, try writing a song about that. Just something to kind of break you out of the rut and create something. But often we can get stuck too because we're trying to write something that's going to get popular, trying to write something that's going to impress people, and that's not a great place to write from. Write from a place of purity, a place of really want to create something, and just write for the fun of creating. And you'll find that can often just get things flowing in terms of your creativity. And then last but not least, look around for inspiration. If you've tried all these things, you're like, I still got nothing. It is easy to find inspiration by going for a walk, watch a nature documentary, watch or read something that's interesting to you, have a conversation with an interesting person, read a biography about someone who's lived an interesting life and done interesting things, watch a TED Talk, go on YouTube and search for some stories, some inspiring stories. And you'll find inspiration in so many places like the Bible, your walk with the Lord, books, movies, talking to people, living life, and then just take notice of things. And when you have certain feelings or have thoughts come to your head, oh, I'm going to write that down. Book titles, movie titles can even be used for inspiration. Watch a scene from a TV show or a movie and write a song that might go behind that scene. There's so many things you can do just to get inspiration and to just start writing. And don't look for perfect, just look for progress, just look for starting to write, and you'll find that it becomes very easy. You end up with a whole bunch of ideas. And then last but not least, I know we had 5 points today, but I'll add an extra bonus one for you. I'm going to call it number 6. I'm going to type it here. Okay, got to delete this. All right, here we go. Number 6 is going to be sit down and write. This is an amazing way to break writer's block, is just to put your butt in a chair and write something. So the difference between amateurs and professionals is often that professionals have learned to just sit down, get it done when they feel inspired and when they don't feel inspired. Amateurs tend to just write when they feel like it. And if they're not inspired by anything, they won't do it. So authors, they often talk about this. They're writers as well. You just got to sit down and write a couple pages and keep doing that consistently. If you want to write more songs, just sit down in front of your keyboard or piano or journal and write what's going on in your life. Write some ideas down. Even if it's 15 minutes a day, just say, I'm going to sit down and write something, even if it's terrible. If you can't think of anything, write about not being able to write. Just get something down, and that's going to really help you just to be consistent in those areas, and break out of the writer's block that can plague people. And I don't even think writer's block is really a thing. People say, I've got writer's block, I've got writer's block. It's kind of this term, it's an excuse that people use for not having a purpose to their writing, or not just getting down and doing it. And so I would encourage you also to not say, I've got writer's block, because often what we think about and what we believe can end up becoming our reality. So if you always say, I've got writer's block, I'm not creative, you won't be. If you just don't say, I don't have writer's block, just say, I need to find some ideas. I need to get some creative input into myself. I need to just get out there, get out of this rut a bit. But don't say you have writer's block, because you will if you say that and believe that. Just think of it as, I need some creative inspiration. I need to get inspired again. I need to just get down and do some work on this. Just like Tim Ferriss said, I need to write a couple bad pages. I just need to write a couple bad songs. So sometimes you just need to write a couple bad songs to get those out and move on to the next one. And anyone who's an amazing songwriter will tell you, I've heard Ed Sheeran and John Mayer both say this, you've got to just write those bad songs to get through to the good ones. It's kind of like turning on a faucet at a cabin that hasn't been used for a long time. First, there might be some muddy water and stuff, but eventually the good stuff starts coming through. But you got to let that creativity flow, start where you're at, and keep on going until you get to the good stuff. But writer's block can sometimes be an excuse in our minds that we use to not do our creativity. And you don't want to let that excuse own you or control you. You want to be free from it. And so I would encourage you just to be free of writer's block today, that you would be able to find your creative inspiration, that you would be able to flow creatively. As kingdom creatives, we have the upper level, even with divine creativity, Holy Spirit partnering in asking for ideas in terms of spending time with the Lord, and just ask God for ideas. That's one of the most powerful things you can do. And just, you'll be surprised over the next week what comes to your mind. And then as he gives you those song seeds, write them down and then start to develop them over time. So I hope that was encouraging to you all. So good to see you all. We're going to be doing this about once a week, Tuesdays at 1 p.m. Central Time. I'm going to come on and just share some quick tips for y'all about artistry, songwriting, business, whatever kind of I feel like is needed in that time. And so thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed it, and God bless. And I'm going to take a look at some of these comments here of what people are saying as well. Cherie wrote a song about not having anything to write about. It was terrible. It got me unstuck. Yeah, that's good. Someone else has been doing 10 to 15 timed writes, help them get back into writing. Be consistent, even if uninspired. Yeah, that's one of the hardest things to do. Just get in the habit of being consistent. And, it's better, just like practicing an instrument, it's better to do a little bit, a lot, than to do a lot, a little. So it's better if you're just writing 15 minutes, 10 minutes a day, 5 minutes for, if you're writing a little bit a day, but you're doing it consistently, rather than just doing a chunk of 5 hours at a time once a month or something like that. It's better just to do consistently. Your mind will start to flow, and the brain is an amazing thing. The more you use it, the more you use it for your creativity, the more it'll just get in line with those things, and you'll be seeing creative stuff here and there. It'll be picking up things from the Lord. It'll be picking up things from life, and you'll just start to train your brain to be more creative. So, it's just a lot about consistency, and a little bit over a long time goes a long way. All right. Great to see you all. And God bless you. We'll see you next Tuesday, 1 p.m. Take care.